بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نويت التعلم والتعليم والتذكر والتذكير والنفع والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم والدعاء إلى الهدى والدلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه. I intend to study and teach, to take and give reminders, benefit and assistance, and to inspire myself and others to hold fast to the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to call to guidance and direct to goodness, seeking the countenance of Allah, His pleasure, nearness, and reward. Okay, so we're going to go straight into the rules of Noon, Sakin, and Tanween. So technically we've covered 3 of the rules and we're on the last one, inshallah. And so just, as in somebody was asking last week, or the last session, sorry, when how many rules are left and so forth. So there isn't that many rules left. We've only got to go through the meme sakin rules and also to go through the muds and how long to elongate and so forth. And then the rest of the sessions, inshallah, we can try and focus on pronouncing it and trying to get it perfected, and so that they are easy to find and also easy to pronounce. So with regards to the noon sakin rules, when we're talking about the noon sakin rules, we are talking about whenever we see a noon with a sukoon on it, or a fatatain, kasratain, dammatain, we said that there is a rule that applies. So it's either 1 out of the 4. Okay, so there's 4 rules of noon sakin and tanween. The first one being izhar, and izhar basically means to make something clear. And in relation to tajweed, it would be to make the noon sakin or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain nice and clear. And this one, as we know, is without gunna. So we'd pronounce this as an, in, on. Okay, and then we have the second one, which is called idgham, and we said that literally idgham means to put one thing into another. In relation to tajweed, it means to put the noon sakin or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain sound into the next letter. We said that there were 2 types, idgham with gunna and idgham without gunna. So the idgham with gunna is with regards to 4 letters. I didn't mention the izhar letters, but as in terms of, we said that there are 6 letters for the idgham. That is the phrase yarmalun, and then we said that we divided that yarmalun into 2, yanmu for with gunna, lam and ra for without gunna. So basically, if we see any of the yanmu letters that come after a noon sakin, fatatain, kasratain, dammatain, we would pronounce it with gunna. We would delivered with gunna. And then we have yarmalun, which we said that the other 2 letters are the lam and the ra. So if a lam or a ra comes after the noon sakin or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain, then we go straight onto that letter, the lam or the ra, and we pronounce it without gunna. The next one was iqlab. Iqlab means to turn or flip. In relation to tajweed, it means to turn or flip the noon sakin or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain sound into the next letter. There's only 1 letter for iqlab, and that is the ba. If ba comes after noon sakin or the tanween, then we know that we change the noon sakin or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain sound into a meme sound. We pronounce it with gunna. Okay, and we make it into a little meme sound or a meme sound, and that little meme tells us or reminds us that we need to change it into a meme sound. So the next one and the last one that we're on is ikhfa. So we already know that logically, if there are 6 letters with the throat letters with idhar, we've got 6 letters with idgham, and then we've got the ba with iqlab. Naturally, we would know that how many letters, firstly, how many letters do we think? Let's see if anyone can guess, or anyone that studied it before, while I just write it up. So ikhfa, we're doing. Okay, so firstly, what does ikhfa mean? Ikhfa, literally, it means to hide. Okay, so ikhfa literally means to hide. In relation to tajweed, it means, logically, following that same path, that we to hide the noon sakin or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain sound into the next letter. Okay, so following the same pattern, it means to hide that sound, that noon sound, or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain sound into the next letter. Okay, so the letters as we normally do. Can anyone guess how many letters they think that there are? Okay, so Samira saying 6, no? More. Remember that in Arabic, there are how many letters? There's 29 letters, I believe. 6 have been used, another 6 have been used, and 1's been used. So what are we remaining? What's remaining? I think there's 29 anyway. Okay, so there's 16, but and if there's 16 that's remaining, is that what the where's Kaifa, maths teacher? Yeah, 16. Okay, so 29, take away 13 would be left with 16. But remember how we said that the alif and the hamza are pretty much basically the same letter. So we're taking that one away because saying that the alif and the hamza are the same. There are 15 letters. Okay, so any of the remaining letters, so basically it's 15. We don't need to memorize the 15. Okay, so the idea is that you're not expected to memorize those 15, but you would just deduct. Okay, so you know how we were doing it in the practice of the surah. We were saying, is it idhar? Is it the throat letters? No. Is it the yarmalun letters? No. Is it ba? No. Okay, that means it must be one of the ikhfa. Okay, so there's 15 letters. So we would do it as remaining. We can just write it as the remaining letters. Okay, and then we, in terms of how to pronounce it, Okay, so in terms of how to pronounce, we use that same logic to hide well, it's the same thing really, to hide the noon sakin or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain sound into the next letter. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's use an example. Okay, so here you have a noon sakin and the letter after is a sheen. So first of all, we would ask ourselves, okay, which rule is it? Is it a throat letter? No. Is it a yarmalun letter? No. Is it a ba? No. That means it must be ikhfa. Okay, so when we're talking about hiding that sound into the next letter, what we're essentially doing, so let me just pronounce it first. So I would say that as min shari, min shari. So what you need to be doing is, number one, you do not, your tongue should not be touching anything. It should be in your mouth, just semi-hovering. And so the idea is that you are going from that meme to the sheen. Okay, so you're going from the meme to the sheen. That would be any letter, but for this example, it's a meme. So I would be trying to get to the sheen. So where is the sheen pronounced from? It's pronounced from the middle of the tongue, raised up towards the upper palate. So the sha. So just say sha, sha, and you'll notice that your tongue is just kind of like, it's not touching anything. So that same concept that you would, you're slowly trying to get to the sheen. So you're saying it as mish, mish. But with this one, you pronounce it with gunna. Okay, so here, add into that. So to hide the nun sakin or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain sound into the next letter and pronounce with gunna. Okay, so now let me say that again. So we're trying to get to the sheen. Okay, so let's just say mish, mish. Okay, so you're trying to get to that sheen. Is that the rule? Yeah, that's the rule, that bit there. Because I've just wrote it, so there's no point writing it twice. So you're trying to say mish, but then you need to release that noon sakin sound from the nasal cavity. So you're saying it's like as if you're slow motion going to the sheen, or if whatever letter it would be. Imagine if it was a qaf, so it'd be like as if you're going towards the qaf, miq. Okay, but then you're releasing that sound, that nasalization sound. So you're saying it as miq, miq. That doesn't mean that I'm pronouncing the noon. Okay, so it's so important that I explain that to you and make it sure that you know that, because a lot of people make this mistake that they're trying, what they do is that they get the tip of their tongue and they try and get it towards where the noon is pronounced. So there's a difference between me saying min shari, min shari. If you notice from my tongue, you can see that I'm going towards that noon. I don't care about the noon. One second. Sorry. So used to this now. Okay, so you're not pronouncing that noon clearly, or you're not pronouncing it at all. You're not even thinking about it. So you should really, and it's very hard to not think about it, because naturally you're seeing it and you're hearing that nasalization sound. And what people think is that because there's that nasalization sound, that's the noon sound. But remember, the noon is pronounced where the tip of the tongue is touching the gums of the upper front teeth. Okay, but we don't care about the noon because we're hiding that sound into the next letter. So remember, we're hiding that sound into the next letter, but we're releasing the air from the nasal cavity. So again, it should be like min shari. My tongue is flat. I'm not lifting it up towards the noon. I'm just saying it as min shari, min shari. If we give it a scene, okay, then I'm saying it as, I can't think of a word. Miss. Okay, so I'll try and, inshallah, when we're going through some of the examples, let me just think of another one. Okay, so mil dhuhur. Okay, so here it's like as if I'm going slow motion to the dha. How is the dha pronounced? It's by sticking my tongue out, and it's a heavy letter. So it's like as if I'm saying mil dhuhur, okay, because I'm going slow motion, but then I need to release the nasalization, and so I would be pronouncing it like mil dhu. My tongue is not going towards the area where I would articulate the noon from. Okay, it sounds like it, but that's not what I'm doing. So again, it's mildu. So I'm trying to open my mouth so that you can see that the tip of the tongue is not going towards the noon. So it's not mildu. It's not like that. It's milduhu, and there's a slight difference. Okay, so remember, don't think about the noon. Okay, you're just trying to get to that next letter, but going slow motion, releasing the nasalization. Okay, so this one takes a little bit more time. Some people are able to grasp it quite quickly. Some people find it a little bit harder. Okay, but as we go along, inshallah, you'll try and you'll be able to grasp how you're meant to be pronouncing it. So the rule is nice and simple. Rule is nice and clear, that ikhfa means to hide. In relation to tajweed, it means to hide the noon sakin or the fatatain, kasratain, dammatain sound into the next letter, and you're pronouncing it with gunna. Okay, what are the letters for ikhfa? Is any of the remaining letters, so not the throat letters, not the yarmalun letters, not the letter ba, anything that's remaining, that is the letter of ikhfa, and there are 15. Okay, and that's it for ikhfa. So what we will do now is that I'm going to bring up one of the surahs, and let's see whether we can find some of these. So I'm now expecting you to be able to, inshallah, be able to find all of these 4 rules. So I've got to find where I screenshotted it. Maybe this one. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're going through Surah Infitar today, and what I'm asking you firstly to do is for you to just find. Second, someone's trying to speak to me. Never get to it. Okay, I'll try and find it. Is ikhlas. I don't know what that means. Okay, so if we can just first of all find any noon sakin or tanween rules. So keep popping up and I apologize. So if you can find it firstly, and then you're asking yourself, is it idhar? Is it idgham with gunna? Is it idgham without gunna? Is it iklab? Or is it ikhfa? So any of these rules. Okay, so you just find the noon sakin ones. Is ikhfa pronounced the same as idgham with gunna? No, it's not. Otherwise, it would be the same rule. I'll explain how you're pronouncing it. So remember, you're hiding it. There's a merge. There's a difference between a merge and a hide. I'll try and explain it again at another point. So just focus on what the task is for now. I knew that was going to happen. Just take your time. I want you to try and find these as much as you can. Okay, so if you're fast and you've done it, then try and find one of the other rules. Try and find the kalakala. Okay, I'm just going to give it one more minute and then we will go through it, inshallah. Try and look for noon and mim mushadda if you've completed it also. So we can go through it properly. Okay, let's go through it then. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It starts with إِذَا السَّمَاءُ فَطَرَتْ. Okay, so here you see a noon sakin, okay, and the letter after is fa. So you go follow the system. Is fa a throat letter? No. Is it yarmalun letter? No. Is it a ba? No. So this is ikhfa. And I would pronounce it as fatarat. Okay, so it's like my mouth is going towards the fa, but it's going slowly and I am releasing the air. Fatarat. Okay, so that's ikhfa. Then وَإِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَثَرَتْ. So here you have a noon sakin, the letter after is ta. Ta is not a throat letter, it's not a yarmalun letter, it's not ba, so it is ikhfa. So it would be pronounced as buntatharat, buntatharat. So it's like as if I'm going towards the ta. وإذا البحار فجرت نون وإذا القبور بعثرت نون علمت نفس ما. So here you have a dammatain. The letter after is meme. Is meme a throat letter? No. Is it a yarmalun letter? Yes. Which one is it? So is it yanmu or is it lam or ra? It's yanmu, which means that it is idgham with gunna. So it's nafsumma. So if you notice now, previously in our first couple of sessions, we were learning about the noon and meme mushadda rule. Okay, so the noon and meme mushadda, we had, when at that point, if I had given you this surah, you would have assumed that this meme with a shadda on it is the rule of noon mushadda or meme mushadda, or well, it would be meme mushadda. But because now you've learned these rules, you've actually noticed that it's not a normal case of a meme mushadda. It's actually because of that dammatain that meme has a shadda on it. So this would not be classified as a meme mushadda rule. It would be classified as an idgham with gunna. Okay, so a good way to remember it is that the noon sakin and tanween rules override noon and meme mushadda. Okay, so if you do not know whether it's a noon mushadda or a meme mushadda, then you would ask yourself that is there a dammatain around? Is there a noon sakin around? And if there is, then you would know that it relates to idgham, not because it's a noon or meme mushadda. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Remember, noon sakin rules override noon and meme mushadda. قدمت وأخرت. But do they sound the same? Yeah, it would be. It would be exactly the same. You're pronouncing it with gunna. So you would be saying it نفس ما قدمت وأخرت. يا أيها الإنسان. Okay, so you have a noon here, and the sin it comes after. Sin is one of the ikhfa letters, because we're just going to go through this a little bit quicker now. So this would be classified as ikhfa. ما غرك بربك الكريم. No more. الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك. None. في أي سورة. So here you see a kasratain. The letter after is meme. Meme is one of the yarmalun letters, and then it is one of the yanmu letters. So it is idgham with gunna. Remember, it's overriding meme mushadda. And then you've got, so it pronounces suratim ma, sha'a rakkabak. كلا بل لا تكذبون بالدين نون وإن عليكم. So here we have a noon mushadda. وإن عليكم لحافظين كراما. So here you have a fatatain. The letter that comes after is kaf. Kaf is not a throat letter, it's not a yarmalun letter, it's not the ba, which means it's ikhfa. Okay, and then so that would be pronounced as kiraman katibin. Kiraman katibin. So there's a gunna here. يعلمون ما تفعلون نون so you've got noon mushadda here. إن الأبرار لفي نعيم. No more. so again here you have a noon mushadda. وإن الفجار لفي جحيم. Okay, so non there. يصلونها يوم الدين. Non there. وما هم عنها. So here you have a noon sakin. What's the letter that's after? It's got a her here. This is a her, the deep one, and that is a throat letter. So I would pronounce this noon nice and clearly, no gunna. Anha bighaibin. Wama adraka ma yawmuddin. Non. Thumma. So here we have a meme mushadda because there's no noon sakin before it. There's no fatatain, kasratain, dammatain before it. It's just a tha with a damma on it. So you would know that this is meme mushadda. Thumma ma adraka ma yawmuddin. None in the remaining. And then yawma la tamliku nafsul. So here you have a dammatain. The letter after is a lam. Lam is not a throat letter, but it is a yarmalun letter. So is it yanmu? No. that means it falls into lam and ra. So this is idgham bighayr gunna, idgham without gunna, and I would pronounce it as nafsul li naf. So there's no gunna, it's like it's going straight onto that lam. Nafsul li nafsin. So here you have a kasratain. The letter that comes after is sheen. Sheen is not a throat letter, it's not a yarmalun letter, it's not the ba, which means that it is ikhfa, and I would hide that kasratain sound into the sheen. So this would be pronounced as li nafsin shay, li nafsin shay. And then you have a hamza here with a fatatain on it. Now technically I can stop here and I can say it as li nafsin shay'a, and that's what that ta means. That ta basically just means it's a recommended stop, so I can choose or choose not to. If I chose to stop, then I would pronounce this as li nafsin shay'a. But if I chose to continue and I am allowed to, then I can say it as li nafsin shay'an wala. So here, if I was to continue, then that hamza would have a fatatain on it. The letter after is a waw. So waw is not a throat letter, it's a yarmalun letter. So is it yanmu? Yes, it's yanmu. So I would pronounce this with idgham with the gunna, and so I would say it as shay'an wa, shay'an wal. Okay, so it's wal amru yawma idhil lillah. So this dhil, you've got a dhal with a kasratain on it. The letter that comes after is a lam. Lam is not a throat letter, but it is a yarmalun letter. So which one is it? Idgham with gunna or without? And we know that it is without because it is lam from lam and ra. So I would pronounce this as yawma idhil lillah. Okay, and I would just go straight on to that next letter. Does that make sense? I'm hoping you do, because obviously I can't see your faces. I'm hoping like that's okay. And it's making a little bit more sense. Naturally, the more that we're going to be finding through it, you might have missed a few, but that's normal at this stage. You'll start to pick up on it as you go along. And then inshallah, once you're pronouncing it, because at this point, to be honest, we're focusing a lot on the theory, and that's just because I want you to really grasp that theory, and naturally because of the setting that we're in and we're doing this via Zoom, it's not easy for me to be able to listen to you whether you're pronouncing it and so forth. So as long as we can grasp the theory well, then inshallah as we go along, or in your own cities and so forth, at least you know what you need to focus on and what you're struggling with and what you haven't studied and so forth. So we'll leave it as that inshallah, and I will see you for Tajweed tomorrow, and we'll go through the meme sakin rules inshallah.